All right.
Yeah, we good. I'm gonna wear this crazy hat the whole time. I intend on it. If I take it off, you guys gotta call me out on it.
All right.
I mean, she already took it off.
I know. She already took it off.
Oh man! All right, guys. Hey, episode 4, season 3 of the Rose Review. We got my boy DC here. We're chilling all the way from Harrisburg. Thanks for making the trek, man.
Yeah,
I appreciate
man,
that.
Of course.
Word. And Nick, as always, how you doing, man?
Man, living,
chilling.
Nah, it's like I was at some family.
Each other every like
I
2 hours.
was at family stuff earlier, so
nice.
it was fun.
It's
Though.
that time of the year, though.
Yeah, it's that time of the year. Speaking of that.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So, so honestly, man, I want to jump right into you. I want to, because this is usually with the artists that we work with around here. I know who I'm talking to. I know the area that I'm working with, and I know how they fit in that whole entire like scene.
Definitely.
So, with you, I kind of want to go back and I want to see where this all started. You know, all the hip hop shit, all the music shit, wherever it kind of originated from. You want to talk a little bit about that? Like,
I mean, it's kind of tricky to pinpoint exactly where it started, because like I was listening to rap before I could even understand it. You know what I'm saying? Like it was just first thing I ever listened to, first song I ever listened to was a Tupac song. Can't remember it obviously because I couldn't understand it.
Right.
But, it was in my cousin's crib, and me, him, and my cousin, we would always chill and play cards and stuff. You know, once I got a little older, and that's where, you know, I just really started picking up on hip hop in general, and it was just mainly old school shit. It was the Tupac shit. It was the Biggie shit. It was all that. Like that's really where it all started.
We definitely see that in your music too.
Yeah.
So it's definitely bar heavy. Yeah,
for
and
sure.
we can appreciate that coming from like right now. It's a real turbulent time for hip hop. Very strange. We talk about that a lot on the show.
Yeah,
in the way that it's like. Like it's changing. It's becoming sing-songy, and we like to see bars,
for sure.
which is the true nature of hip hop.
Absolutely,
right?
I can tell that you have a pretty big library up here in terms of stuff that you listen to, because a lot of your stuff is very, very versatile. So you're talking, you know, old hip hop, all of that. Have you been? Were you in Harrisburg this whole time throughout all of this? So you've just been like straight Harrisburg since.
Yeah, straight
okay.
Harrisburg, straight
Okay, so what's that? Tell me a little bit about that scene, because we don't know much about that scene.
Too much,
honestly.
I mean, you can either say you love it or you hate it coming from Harrisburg, because I mean,
it sounds like Lancaster.
It's similar, but it's like with the city, just the way things are. I mean, you know, comparing cities, it's a different environment per city, but you know what comes with the territory in the city, whether that's just your lifestyle or whether it's, you know, just being a musician. That goes for anything though, like ball player, musician, whatever. It's dog eat dog. It's competition, period. But it's kind of like it's grown into a more like loving environment where people are like trying to embrace each other and accept each other and just support each other. Because I mean, we've lost a lot of people. Like I've lost people. My friends have lost people. Like
just in Harrisburg, like in terms of
it's a really it's been tragic for a lot of people, and
wow,
yeah, it's heavy. But like lately, like I really can appreciate and respect the fact that we've all tried to come together and just support each other. And I mean, there's still some people that aren't really trying to do that. They're not really with the movement as to be expected.
Definitely.
There's
always going to be those stragglers.
Yeah,
always
sure.
going to be.
But
I've noticed that Harrisburg has a little bit more venues. I noticed that they have a little bit more venues than Lancaster. A little bit more clubs.
I think, and when we were up there to see, when we first saw you at that event, it was something that we would have never, like that little
that
showcases
exist.
like that, that shit doesn't happen out here.
Yeah, that shit doesn't happen at all.
I feel you.
Like, and it was like, whoa, what if we just
did the same thing?
Not even that.
Literally.
Not even just like, it was just like, what if we were, I feel like if I was in Harrisburg and we were doing this in Harrisburg, I feel like we'd have more pull of people.
Yeah.
I feel like because I can only think of maybe 10, 15, 20 people out here that actually regularly make music, but I feel like it's a bigger market out there.
Yeah, it's way
a lot more competition.
There's probably a larger population. It's the capital.
Yeah.
Like sometimes people forget that. I forget that sometimes.
Yeah, you guys feel like you have your cliques?
Yeah, it's a cliquey city.
I mean, it depends. Like I said, because I mean, we can be really cohesive, but then at other times we can be kind of on our own.
What does that cohesiveness kind of look like? Because it's something that we are missing.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, I wouldn't say we're fully there yet.
Right.
But we've definitely made strides, and I can say, you know, it's anything from people that don't really know each other sharing each other's Facebook posts of their music videos or their songs, to showing up to their events and taking pictures together. And you know, it's the little shit. It's the little things that really.
Yeah, it seemed like when we were up there, everybody kind of was there, but they had their kind of team present with them, and everybody kind of seemed to know each other. I felt as more
we were
of an
independent.
outcast.
Yeah, we were all
very
independent.
Like, whoa, what's going on? And it seemed like everybody really knew what was going on. Like everybody knew each other, and I really liked seeing that. And I think that's something that you should be thankful for. I think, you know,
for sure,
because that isn't.
It's in central Pennsylvania. That's probably the best you're getting, other than maybe like Shippensburg. Like that's kind of far away.
I mean, Philly got it.
I mean,
Philly's
got it.
Philly definitely has it.
Yeah, definitely.
Pittsburgh got it too.
But is that central PA? You would call it central PA?
Philly?
I mean, Philly's close.
A little bit,
far.
It's close enough.
Yeah, I wouldn't put Pittsburgh's an interesting.
Pittsburgh is interesting.
Do you go up there? Do you perform up there at all? Or?
I've never performed up there. I shot my first music video out there.
Okay, yeah, I have a friend who lives out there, and he makes a lot of different types of music, but they have the same problem.
Really?
Yeah.
Even that big of a city?
It's not even like it's not even that it's because it's a big city. I just think it's the amount of like relevancy that comes with the only like 4, 5, 6 people that are really like actually doing shit. I think that's what happens in big cities, because like in smaller cities we can sit here and we can say, all right, I can list all these people that are like in the same kind of bucket, but once you get to a bigger city, once you get to Philadelphia, you got to make sure you have your top 10 hitters that are going to stay there for a little bit, and they're either going to take off and they're going to fall. And
then you got hundreds of guys doing shows.
You got hundreds of all those guys trying to climb to get to that top 10 slot where it's like everybody knows you in the city. You know what I mean?
And it makes me happy that we're in central Pennsylvania and this is happening. That shows you how interesting the culture really is. Yeah. And people are running with it, and I think it's really important. Honestly.
You ever perform out here?
No, actually.
Yeah, good.
There's not. I'll be honest. There's not too many opportunities.
Yeah, I feel you. My boy Brandon Ludwig, he used to live out here, like in this area. It's where he's from. But he moved to Allentown. Like I don't remember exactly when he moved to Allentown. But he still makes music. You know, shout out to him. He's getting back on it. But he wanted to get me on this show, this one little showcase. And apparently there was some shit that went down with the one boy. He was saying some racist stuff, and it just all spiraled out of control.
Was this in Allentown?
No, it wasn't. It was here. It was like around here somewhere.
You gotta let us know that venue.
I
need you to find out.
It was sometime last year. I don't remember exactly.
Find out that venue and get back to us so we know.
It was small. It was small though. It was more of a smaller thing. Like the artists were the.
Where did they do that Montana 300 show?
Where was it? Lizard Lounge. I don't think so. I can't imagine it being.
I don't know. It was really small. It was kind of just like the HMAC thing that you came to. It was kind of like that.
Okay.
Like that showcase.
But that was I like that venue. That's not a bad venue.
Yeah,
it's
not bad at all.
It seems like it can be used for a lot of things. The guys that put that on seems like they've been doing it for a while. Was that a normal?
I've never met him. I didn't meet him before that. Like we had become Facebook friends, and then like immediately, I think it was off of a Facebook post. He saw me and like we started talking about music and stuff, and I sent him my shit, and he's like, "Yeah, I want you to perform."
It's funny how shit like that happens. Just random sometimes.
Just random.
Yeah.
So let's get deep into your music. I want to know where those roots are coming from. You know what I mean? So who are you listening to? What types of styles are you looking for? Are you mixing your own shit? Like,
no, I got an engineer. As of late, like I've been trying to figure out what project I actually want to work on. And I know it's not really what you asked me, but I'm just saying. Like,
no.
Now I'm saying as far as just that goes, but I haven't. The whole studio thing, just being real with you, the whole studio thing has been complicated because I mean, studio time's not cheap, and people. That's all I think people don't understand is that making music is not cheap. Like this beat that I talked to my manager about the other day, I got a single that I'm sitting on right now. The beat's $2,000, so. That's for exclusives. That's what I'm saying. So
we just had a conversation with another person about this.
Yeah.
So it's a matter. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You're really chasing. You don't want to continue this like SoundCloud realm. You want to start going higher into different platforms.
I've always had that. I've always
absolutely
been for that. But I mean, SoundCloud. When I first started doing SoundCloud, that was the most popping platform.
Of course,
that was before Spotify.
And your numbers show that you've been there for a minute.
Yeah,
because
definitely.
Like the some of the plays that you get, like I was scrolling back, I was like, holy shit! I was like, there's so much content.
Yeah,
so much. So you're very bar heavy. Where is that coming from? Like, who are the people that you're listening to that really?
Like if you were to put together a Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
See, that's a trick question though.
Yeah, right.
That can get you into some
definitely.
People got their favorites.
Somebody's gonna be like, "How could you not say that?" Like, yeah.
I mean, I could be like Drake and say my Mount Rushmore is me with 4 different expressions, but no, it's not. Not yet, anyway. But I would probably have to say Tupac's definitely on there. He's always gonna be my GOAT. Period. Because just the revolutionary aspect of his music and of his personality and all that. That's really where I adopted it from. First person I listened to, first artist that I really just was able to connect with, and that's where that comes from. But like bar wise, you know, Tupac did have shit, but he wasn't like, it didn't evolve. Like bars really evolved later on once we got to 2000s and post 2010. Like the lyrics have been ridiculous.
Right.
So I would have to say, I mean, Drake's a huge influence on me.
We hear that a lot.
Yeah,
we always.
When I first started making music, everybody, that's all they said. They say you sound too much like Drake, or you sound like Drake, blah blah. I mean, I don't really care. Like that doesn't faze me, because I mean, he's one of the best to ever do it. Clearly, the biggest artist in the world. I would say
thank you.
Now.
Thanks for saying that. Like,
exactly. Like I don't. That's what I'm saying. I don't care. It irritated me in the beginning because like I want to be original. I'm an authentic person and artist, and I want people to understand that. But and it took some time. Like it took some time for me to really develop my own sound, but I have it. You know, I definitely have it. But bar wise, I mean, you could go down the list really. Like Drake's definitely bar heavy to me. I think he's bar heavy, like consciously and honestly. Like he's like that. I mean, I fuck with him, but like not like I used to, because he's just to me he's just not the artist that he used to be. Like, I still
That's fair. That's fair. He back when like 2006. I was really rocking with Drake, really rocking with Drake. Now like it's just become almost like his career's like a meme sort of, but he's just killing it.
I don't know if it's necessarily a meme. He's just making shit that's going to be able to play on the radio. Every single one of the things that, but
and he does.
Where
he does it.
Where he will go bar heavy, and where he'll come out of his box, and you'll see that where it's like, oh shit, Drake just did this. It's his features.
Yeah, that's true.
Like he'll go off everywhere else except for his own tapes. And his own tapes, he's trying to make sure. All right, I need this to hit Billboard 100. I need this to get X amount of radio play.
Sicko,
you know,
perfect example.
I think a business aspect he's very good to look at too.
Of course, for sure.
From just the industry wise,
from the ground up, he's made that OVO shit a staple. Like that's clearly a staple. But I mean, man, you could really cite a lot of people like Wayne. I love Wayne. I'm always gonna love Wayne, man. He's.
What'd you think of his most recent project?
Yeah,
Carter 5. Yeah. I thought that shit was. I thought it was dope. I mean, like going back, like off first listen, I thought it was dope, and then I went back and I kind of like there was some songs I can't really pinpoint. I think too much. I write too much to really talk about a lot of music, but I thought that as a collective, like it was kind of extensive, but I still think that it was
long.
It was definitely long, but it was a long time we waited. I think that's why.
Exactly.
I think that's why
he was just paying us back. For the wait,
which is cool.
And then he added songs. Did y'all see he added 2 songs to the album?
I didn't see that.
Like an updated album.
Oh wait, yeah. Like what was it, 2 or 3 weeks ago or something like that?
He added 2 songs. I didn't even know you could add songs to an album like that. I've never heard that being.
I mean, when you have that industry look, you know what I mean.
First time I saw that was with The Life of Pablo with Kanye West. The first version that he dropped was completely different, and they even ended up cutting Frank Ocean's
That was
part.
when it was only on Tidal.
Didn't that get
It got leaked, and then they put it on Tidal, and it was only on Tidal for
like 9 months. That's it, if that.
No. It was no. It was on Tidal for about a month, and then it went to all streaming services because people didn't want to fucking pay for Tidal.
I guess.
And
now it's on YouTube.
Now it's on YouTube. It's true.
Yeah,
it's true. For sure.
People were hating on
lose that battle. People were losing that battle with streaming services.
You can't.
Right.
Sorry, you have to learn how to.
But I feel like once you're that level of artist, you just go talk to the exec and you're like, hey, I need some more play.
Right.
And really, that's what it.
I mean, but it also,
that's that back alley deal where, hey, I'm gonna give you 20,000. Right. You put it up, and he's gonna put it in his pocket.
Sure.
It shows how important branding yourself as an artist is.
How you represent yourself.
Yeah, because
you guys seen the new wave with like YouTube Music and stuff.
What?
Like who took over YouTube Music?
No.
You guys know who Leor Cohen is?
Yeah.
He's the new.
Oh wow! So that's why they did that whole campaign. That
YouTube Red.
I didn't even know that.
YouTube Red. That he's completely
all over that.
All over it.
I got YouTube Red on my phone.
I know. I know. It's
he
said, is that bro? It's crazy.
I don't know who doesn't have it on their phone because we were waiting for the longest for YouTube to be able to be played while your phone's locked. Or
I know.
Yeah, it's true.
I know.
So
that's true. So what was I gonna say? Your versatility is crazy. I don't. you have such an original sound, and I want to say this because I think it's relevant to talk about. And I haven't really been able to have a conversation with anybody about this. I've talked to Charles about this before, but the hip hop community with race gets a little, and with you being you being white, you don't. It doesn't sound like that at all. I want you to know that.
Yeah,
it's
very.
Thank you.
You know what I mean?
I know.
Like, and I'm not like.
Nah, I get it.
I have to be very careful. I got to tiptoe that line very carefully. But it's and we were talking about that before. It's like you have a very original sound. I think do you listen to other music outside of hip hop? Like, do you listen to like a lot of R&B? Do you a lot of, because I see like the ambience and what you're making, and it's, I don't know, just I'm interested to see the creative process for you. Are you somebody that's like, I'm gonna go just find a beat, I'm gonna spit over it really fast, and then I'm gonna write something quick, and then I'm done? Or are you looking to have put together a more like, I guess, solidified project where it's like, this is what I want to sound like, and this is what it's gonna be from here on out?
And
you know
put
what I mean?
Book together almost. So your bars.
Yeah, it's like it's like once you put out like the tape, like every artist has like the tape where it's like this defines who I am, and I'll play around in this area, but this is what I got. Is that something you want to do, or are you just like trying to just keep going at like trying to make different shit? Because that's something that I would always love to do too. You know?
Yeah,
right.
I'm interested.
I mean, for me, like, I think that music doesn't really have borders or barriers, especially in hip hop. I mean, you hear where we've gone and what direction we've gone.
True.
For me, like, going back to when I started writing, comparing it to when I was kind of in the middle and now, I've always been very calculated and very in-depth. Like, I don't like to rush anything, but back in the day when I was just really writing bars, this shit just came to me like nothing. Like, I was just writing on paper like it was nothing, no problem. Like, I could sit down or have a thought in my mind when I'm going to class, and I just start writing in class, not even paying attention, just writing in class, and that's how it goes. And
that's how it goes sometimes, though.
Yeah, but approaching the music now, you know, since I started really trying to hone in on my original shit, it's definitely a process. I'm a fast writer. I've always been a fast writer, even no matter what it is, like short, what's like an essay or, you know, a short story. Writing's always been a passion of mine, but for me, depending on the song, like, because I feel like the wavy material, the stuff that's like real melodic and ambient and all that type of stuff, that comes to me a lot quicker than the bars do.
Really?
Because I put a lot of time into my bars. Like, if I don't like something, I'll completely erase it. If I don't fuck with a part of it, I will restructure the whole thing. And
I could see that. One
thing that I don't think a lot of people do is, I mean, it's kind of on the fly. Like, I'm not in college right now or anything. I'm not really gaining any other education from any other outside source other than when I feel like looking shit up. And I'll be in a moment and I'll think of something super deep, but I'll have to go look it up. Like, I'll look up a word that I've never said before, or
well, that's normal.
Like a subject. But then I'll go and look it up, and it'll be like there's so much information attached to that, like whether it's a moment in time, then it's a history lesson. Yeah, and I'm able to like attach things from that into the bar. And
so that's an interesting concept. So you're saying, so you feel as though as you write, the more you make more music, the more you learn about just the world in general and things kind of in line with where like what you're feeling. So you kind of just get to choose what you want to take in, which is interesting. But at the same time, you're learning, and then you just keep gaining more and more, and then as you create more music, you just keep. Wow, I've never thought. That's I
never really thought of that one.
I mean, the thing about me, like, I just don't like repeating myself too. So that's another thing. Like, if I'll go and look at older verses, like, the only way that I'll ever recycle something is if it's from one completely different song to another. And it's only happened like once or twice since I've started writing, and there's songs that I haven't released yet that are like that, where I'll take a bar that I rapped and restructure it into a song that's melodic or something like that. Yeah. And you can't really catch it. Like, you're gonna have to know my music to really catch that. Right. But like I said, I just don't like repeating myself, and I like being different. I just embrace being different.
So I know that you don't like this question, but I'm gonna ask it anyway.
No, go for it.
It's gonna be a variation.
Yep. I
know.
So
this aspect of being a perfectionist. Sometimes we've seen it. We've seen it be good, and we've seen it be very bad for artists. I want you to look back and think, if you are a perfectionist, is it good for your craft, or is it bad for your craft? Has it hindered you? Because for me personally, it's not going to hinder me as much because I own a business, so it's different. But for someone with art, way different, because you can spend so much time on the little details, but
and then hate
and
it.
then hate it
For sure.
and then end up with a project that you can't even work with.
Right. I think for me, I can't say it's really hindered me. Like, it's definitely frustrated me at times.
Yeah.
It's definitely aggravating to hold yourself to such a high standard, but it's necessary if you want to be considered one of the best and you're passionate about making music.
Definitely.
And I mean, you don't got to necessarily be one of the best to be a perfectionist. You don't got to want to be that, you know. I know there's a lot of people that are perfectionists and they just do it because they love it, but they still take the time to perfect their craft.
True.
Me, knowing just myself and my aspirations and just how much I love making music and how much it means to me, like, I definitely want to be one of the greatest, period. Like, that's just my main goal, and that's really where my perfectionism, I guess, comes from. And I can't help taking time. Like, I can't help putting time. But a lot of people would probably be like, oh, how long do you take to do something? And I'm going to tell them, like, I don't know, sometimes it's anywhere between, 30 minutes to 2 hours, like, to write a song.
Which we would say that's fast.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But and for me, I think fast, I write fast. But the concept still, to me, it feels like I'm frozen in that moment because I'm really putting something together and I'm structuring it.
Yeah.
So when you were in school coming up, did you ever take any poetry classes or creative writing courses, or did you ever notice that you gravitated towards something like that, or what was the other than music, what was the real deciding factor for you to be like, you know what, I want to pursue this, and I want this? Was it someone in your life, or was it?
Honestly, like I said, I always had a passion for writing. That was just something that I loved doing, and my teachers loved. Like, they would literally pull me aside after class to tell me about my stories. They'd be like, you have such a way with words and a gift with words.
Yeah, you see it and you hear it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Eloquence, the word, I would say.
I appreciate
Absolutely.
that. I think that it's really just the passion for writing and just expressing myself. I was expressive in elementary school, like growing up, because that's where everything started with the writing.
Yeah.
I was an expressive kid, but I was also very reserved, very closed off to myself, and but I was also friendly, so it was hard to really balance that.
Yeah.
But I would say that my school didn't offer poetry classes or nothing like that. There was no school that I was in that offered that. But I definitely wrote them. I definitely used them for projects. I definitely wrote, anytime I could write anything and turn it in, like, that's.
You're taking the writing class or the math class.
So you were
100%.
that just trying to be creative with everything that you do. Yeah, I totally get that. Absolutely.
I can go with that. Yeah.
Using the talent that you have to kind of just that's something I see a lot with musicians. I see it a lot with people who are active in drama and other things like that, where they're always looking for opportunities where it's like, okay, you have to do a project. Okay, you can either do a PowerPoint presentation, you can do a PowerPoint presentation, or you need to, like, write a skit or something, and it's like they're gonna go after that instantly, just because they know that that's how they create. But the people that are good with just statistics and all those things, it just puts them in that little where it's like, all right, I'm just gonna go do this presentation because I know
it's left brain versus right brain.
It is, and it really it's something that as you go throughout school, I think you can really determine in yourself. Once you start picking up on those things and the people that are around you are doing those things as well, you find that. And I'm not surprised when you say I love writing, or creative writing, and your teachers loved it, because it shows. I'm interested because I want to know where the flow aspect came from, because that's crazy too, because like you can just switch on a dime. I just have a lot of questions. Like I don't know, it's weird, but like I'm interested, because it's also the other pieces is like it's a whole different area. Even though it's 45 minutes away, it's a whole
demographic.
Different.
Everything is
different.
different.
Definitely different.
Everything is different.
What do you think your demographic is, and what kind of audience do you feel that you have? Do you feel like you have more of like a click audience, or are you just grabbing people as they go by, or?
I mean, to me, I think everybody's walk of life is unique, and I try to, whether it's people I meet, people I see on Facebook, those viral videos, they're like millions of views of people telling their stories. Like, I can absorb information from that and apply it to whatever I'm trying to do, because really my goal as someone who just promotes being a revolutionary, like, I want to connect with the world and I want them to connect with me. and I want to be able to just change things. I change a lot of things. I don't want to be cliche and say change the world. You know what I mean?
No, but I like that.
Yeah,
I like that. I like that a lot. That's you do want, how do you, okay, I'm gonna dig deeper into I want to change things really quick. Is it do you want to change things in the city? Do you want to change things in the like specific genre that you're in, where you're at?
Yeah.
Is it because do you like the new wave of hip hop that's out right now? There's a lot of things that could go into that. So what do you want to change, you know?
Definitely like know your perspective on the new wave for sure.
I mean, in the beginning, like I feel like that's how it goes with changes. People are like they fear it and then they don't understand it, and they fear what they don't understand. It goes both ways, and like they also obviously everybody's entitled to their opinion, but me in the beginning, it kind of just stung a little bit to hear the way that people were making music now, like how meaningless it felt, the repetition that was happening, but like my perspective's changed a bit since then, because really I just want to see people succeed. That's really my main, like obviously I'm still to my roots, I'm hip hop, like that's really, it's not gonna change. I'm very passionate about that, and I only really care for meaningful music. Like I'm gonna respect whatever you're trying to do. I respect the hustle, the grind, whatever you're doing, but like my personal opinion would probably be like, could you try to, you know, incorporate more worldly topics into your music? You know what I'm saying? Things that matter, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like things that us people down here can't relate to.
Yeah.
Like I feel like that's important.
So you feel like the aspect of the money chase for hip hop has just completely taken over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I see that.
I 100% agree.
Absolutely.
Even
how many times do you hear about a Rolly wristwatch and like
how many times? Okay. You know? How about this? How many times have we heard local artists getting into fights over money that hasn't even existed yet? How many times specifically have we heard about that? Right? Yeah. I know, right? The money that has never been there. And they're all like, "Damn, bro, you're trying to take my pockets." The fuck?
I don't know.
You know what I mean?
I don't know where that. Yeah, I know what you mean. I'm just saying.
You have to know what I mean.
That's coming from. I don't know what they're talking about or why they're on that type of time.
Yeah.
But like in the same breath, though, as much as the money chase is an issue, like I don't know what that feels like to make, you know, sign a contract. I don't know what it feels like to walk into that type of money or be like, you know, I can literally change my own life, my family's lives, and I'm able to celebrate. I'm not taking that away from them. Like, celebrate as much as you want. I'm just saying, if you're on a platform and you have a position of power and you have a voice that's to be used, like, I would say, as much as you want to celebrate, I think you should promote the same level of positivity as far as morals go. You know what I'm saying?
This is the difference between, I think, Harrisburg and fucking Lancaster.
I think people are in a bubble out here.
No, because I've had conversations with people from your area, just not from a hip hop perspective, just in general, just in life. And maybe it's because it's, I guess, more of
a larger city with
a larger city.
Crime,
yeah,
things like that.
I don't know where that comes from.
I mean, I think we just realized what's at stake.
Yeah.
Really.
Life.
Yeah.
Just walking out, you know, living in any area.
It's like Lancaster, wake the fuck up. You know, it's where, because like I listen, but I want to have people in Lancaster come in here and say the same exact shit that he's saying.
It just doesn't happen.
Like it doesn't happen.
So if you guys are watching, you want to come on the show, you got the same thoughts. Nah, but for real, that's really how it is.
It sucks, but
yeah,
like, and that's a mindset that I am very. I like hearing that. I like hearing that from like just somebody who's like, you know, still young and understanding that there's more to it than just the money chase.
And I hope the young artists who listen to this actually start to see what we're saying, because this is not talked about a lot.
No,
like getting on is one thing, but getting money is another.
You don't
for real.
You don't like you know
for real.
We've got 16, 17-year-olds getting face tats right now.
That's what I mean.
You feel me?
You pimp yourself out like that,
sadly.
like
Do you have kids like that out in Harrisburg though?
Of course.
I mean,
of course.
There's
people out there like that.
16, 17 getting face tats. Not in my city.
Yeah, well, I guess. Yeah.
No. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know. It depends, cause like you could want to get a tattoo on your face that actually means something.
Yeah,
true. We have a friend. We have a friend like that.
Get something right here. Like I'm not
we
saying.
have a friend who has a cross right here, and it's meaningful to him.
I'm saying if you're trying to brand yourself that way,
right,
and you put a picture of Anne Frank on your face.
Yeah, did you see that on Twitter?
No, I didn't.
Oh my God, Little Anne Frank. That's a rapper.
Are you serious?
Yeah, 100%. He got and Frank on his face.
No cap.
No bullshit.
Yeah.
For real.
Bro,
Like,
Yeah.
yeah. Maybe we'll put a picture in there because
I'll find it. Yeah, I'll toss it up there.
here we got
I have not.
Yeah. Word. All right, so that's our camera click. We're gonna take a brief break here, and we'll be right back. All right, and we're back. The normal click.
commercial.
Yeah.
But it's cool though. We've been doing a lot better.
Yeah.
Remember how this stuff used to be in my apartment?
Bro, we used to do this in his apartment.
In a 1-bedroom apartment.
Oh, bro, we were sitting
used to
on
do a
couch.
lot of
We were looking
videos.
Doppler to shit too.
We were
Because I'm tall and like
Right,
it's
right.
just like
I
sitting
got
on
a
your
deep
couch.
couch.
Is that a tall guy thing? You gotta adjust constantly. Don't
I
you
have
gotta-
to.
Yo, bro,
I have
can't.
to. I have to.
I
It's my
cannot sit
back,
still.
yo.
That's what I'm saying. I
Exactly.
can't sit still.
Exactly.
It's so
I don't know.
annoying.
Because how tall are you?
Frustrating.
How tall are
I'm
you?
like 6'3".
You're 6'3". Do you ball?
Yeah.
You did ball?
Yeah.
Or do you, like, is that something you would have like? Were you like all through high school or?
That was my first love. Basketball was my first.
Wow.
Yeah.
Most people that come on this show.
Exactly.
Yeah, most people come on this show have that same love. I'm right there with him.
A lot
I
of
grew up with
athletes
that.
can do this shit.
Yeah.
Because that's like it goes.
It's
hands
about
in hand.
finesse.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
about
yeah.
Bro,
finesse.
that's my
Like
guy.
if you can,
Hand in
move,
hand.
you can.
Yeah.
Hey,
Jeez.
you ever heard D Rose spit?
No.
Crazy.
Really?
Yeah, he's really good.
Shit.
Bro, he's
You
from
said
Chicago.
D-Rose?
Yeah, Derrick Rose.
He spit?
Yes.
Where? When?
Go on the internet. It's
He's like, it's there.
Yeah, it's
That's what I'm saying. I
there.
ain't heard
It's
about
there.
it.
Yeah,
Jeez,
D.
I've never heard of it
Lillard's
either,
got-
so you're not.
He's got the heat.
You're not alone.
Yeah.
Really?
They are, man.
What, he
Is
just
he
like?
better than Damian Lillard?
Well, I
No.
mean, he
No.
he had to do something
No,
while
no,
he
no,
was
no.
like sitting on his ass for a whole year or two, I guess.
Damn.
Nah, for real, it's facts. I mean, he couldn't do
For
anything
For a whole
about
year,
it,
we
but-
mean 2 years. Look, he
I
had
fuck with D-Rose, though.
mad blown out
Yeah,
ACLs.
absolutely.
Absolutely. And he's coming
Absolutely.
back with a fiery punch. But enough about basketball. A little bit more back to the music.
Yeah,
we could go on.
let's
Forever.
I want to talk about what is it Dream? Yeah, it's Dream Crew Entertainment. What is that? Walk me through kind of what that is.
And what you
and
want
where-
it to be.
Yeah, because it seems like you're putting something together.
The wild thing about that is I was actually in the studio a couple years back. I think it was when my first time in the studio called Pro Sounds in Harrisburg.
Shouts Pro Sounds.
Shouts Pro Sounds.
Yeah, shout out Pro Sounds. Shout out Sultan. It was weird because I was in there with my boy Weedy. He just got out of jail recently, so can't say free him no more. But
That's a good thing.
yeah,
That's good
definitely
at
a good
least.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were in the studio. We were recording a couple songs, and I was like thinking of when I was recording. It was just one of those in the moment things where I was thinking of my name, and I was like, I don't like saying DC in my songs. Like I'll say D to the motherfucking. That's what I always do. That's my thing. But like I don't say just DC in a song. Like that's weird to me. Like,
So what's up with what's the SoundCloud name then? So what is
that was what everybody called me. Like,
okay?
That white
literally
boy.
Okay, so
everybody
that has
referred
nothing
me.
to do
Yeah.
with.
That was just, I thought that shit was funny. So I was just like, you know what, I'm just going to let that be known. Because that's literally what everybody referred to me as, whether it was at a basketball game or anywhere.
I would encourage you to try and figure out what you want to do with a name, though. If you're going to
Yeah,
go
Definitely. Because
and
it seems like
brand
you
that
have a
way.
foundation so far.
Well,
Yeah.
Dream Crew is definitely what I'm trying to brand.
Just
That's
brand.
That's
Okay.
definitely what I'm trying to brand.
Yeah.
So do you
I
see
think-
it as a label? Do you see it as a
Hopefully
management
in
group?
the future, hopefully. It's right now it's kind of just a movement, I would say.
And that's how a lot of these things start.
It's definitely a movement, and like I got affiliates, like the people that you were talking about that I reposted, they're like affiliates of mine.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
They got their own shit, but they
Right.
would, acknowledge themselves.
And you got family
as-
involved too.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, like you said older brother. Your
Yeah.
older brother's here, so and then you have your little brother that makes music, which I listened to some of those and they were really good as well.
Yeah.
So shout out to him.
Facts.
He's only been doing that for a couple years, by the way.
I mean,
Really?
the young kids, they just pull
They
it
just
out of
seem
their
to
ass
pop
now.
out. This
Yeah,
is
he
some
was in
nut
his
shit.
room, like it did not take him very long. Like I mean, people were born with a gift, but you never know when you're
never
gonna
find
tap
it.
into it or when you're
Yeah.
gonna find it.
Right.
He was listening to like Sam Smith and Adele and Justin Bieber and all kinds of people. He just started like really listening to their songs and singing them. And when I heard him like really sing for the first time,
Talented,
bro.
Yeah, and that's your fam. Absolutely.
You know what's the craziest part?
Ridiculous.
There are millions of talented artists. Millions. But only a small percentage of them get put on. So I wonder how much of this game is about who you know now instead of what you do.
with the
I'd like
new
to see
streaming service situation,
Right, exactly.
In terms of a money aspect,
it's now
all
money.
about who you know.
It's always
because
about-
yeah,
for sure.
industry is way different than what it was. You're not selling CDs anymore. That's for damn sure.
I mean, you still put them out though.
Yeah, but you're not selling them in the droves that you're selling.
Can't remember the
streams.
last time I bought a CD. You know what I mean?
Get Rich or Die Trying was the last
right.
CD I bought.
That whole out the trunk thing is kind of
last one.
I mean,
yeah,
pulling up the big games and handing out CDs out the trunk.
It's antiquated.
People still do it. Like,
people still do it. I mean, I received a lot of music, especially from people even out here, where it was like that.
Yo, this is my mixtape. Yeah, we get that.
I still fuck with that personally. That takes me back. Like that's
of course,
of course.
Now that I definitely agree. That's the nostalgic part of this whole game. But like going into a store, going into like FYE, FYE, and walking in there and like, oh, I need a specific. No, I'm gonna go on the internet. I'm not gonna step out of my house. I'm gonna be listening to it in the next 10 seconds.
Or you're gonna order it.
Right. Exactly.
For sure.
The pre-order shit, I guess.
This game we have seen it.
iTunes will still pre-order, which I think that's really cool because it's a show of support.
Yeah.
For sure.
Now, and I think that's really, really cool. Unless you're like a big platform artist or anything like that. I don't know. Were you musically talented at all? Or you're just kicking it.
Just kicking it.
Why are you lying?
I'm not.
He's pitched in some concepts over the years.
Okay.
Like some occasional lines for me to restructure. And he tossed ideas at me and stuff like that.
Is it just the three of you guys?
Yeah, it's us three.
Word. That's tight. It seems like you guys all seem pretty tight. You guys all seem to have each other's back. Yeah, absolutely.
For sure.
Family seems to really help. When I see that people have like I can tell you just have a good structure underneath you, just in the way that you kind of you carry yourself and the way that all of your music, I think, just really speaks for that. And that's really cool. I like that everybody's kind of involved with that. You know,
that's cohesive.
Yeah,
cohesive.
Exactly.
Definitely. I like seeing that. We see a lot of like little groups out here. No, you're good. We see a lot of little groups out here that just honestly they don't end up going anywhere.
And sometimes they tear each other apart.
And they just tear each other apart. Oh.
We're good. Everything's still good. No, you're straight.
I was like,
no, you're good.
No, I was gonna say that my family. I mean, I don't want to say we've had it the worst, but we definitely haven't had it the best. And there are certain people that have come along the way and have seen that have also. I mean, they've had it worse than me.
Yeah.
And it's like, if we didn't have anybody, we got each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's really what it is for me. Like there's a lot of songs I have unreleased that are bangers or just conscious songs where I'm saying this is like I'm talking about my family or I'm saying this is for the family. Da da da. And like, I don't think that it's a cliche thing to say, but I think that I think it's a repetitive thing for people to really say family.
No, absolutely.
Like, to be talking about family.
But it's what you, I guess it's
who you consider. Yeah.
And I guess it helps, it's your drive. It helps your drive, I'd say.
For sure.
You know, I think.
Because I just want to see them in a better place.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I just want them to be happy.
Exactly.
It's all about peace and prosperity. You know what I mean?
So let's talk a little bit about your city, a recent event that happened. Kiera Love just did a No Jumper Exposed video. Has 1 million followers on Instagram. We met her at the event that we met you at,
which I did not know about. I had no idea she was.
Nor did I.
Yeah,
nor did I. It was complete.
Surprise.
Really quick, was it like that? Like, was because I had no idea who she was. Absolutely no clue. So was it? Was it always like that? Was she known in the city like really well before this popped off, or like
she was starting to gain a lot of traction, like right up until that point, and I think that's why he brought her on. But like I knew there were a lot of people there that didn't know who she was.
Yeah.
But I mean,
but the Cardi B shit with big. The reposts and now the No Jumper. How did the city receive that? Because we haven't had anybody like that walk out of here,
and we know how the city will receive it. They just be hating.
Yeah, for sure.
Fake love and hate.
It was to this day I've only seen one person call her poop, and that was on one Facebook post. The bull straight up said she's poop. So I mean that's but that's not my.
Because she can spit.
Yeah,
she can very talented.
Yeah, she can spit her ass off. She's definitely cool.
It's few and far between.
The city received like the whole thing well. Like she knows a lot of people, and I mean she had 63K before she got that.
Okay. I know, and that's around. I would say it was close to about 73 to about 100 something when we met her.
Yeah,
and when I saw that jumped to 1 million, I was like, the power. The power of a repost is just like
man, that's where we're at now. Like reposts,
and now we're back at that point. Right. Is it who you know or what you do?
And is it real or is it fake?
And is it right?
That's a good question.
You know what I mean? And we talk a lot about that out here.
Yeah, it's super important.
And I want to when I see especially young kids like do it and you know the Cardi B thing, all of it makes sense. It fits into place.
Yeah.
I'm just interested to see, you know, I wanted to know how the city received that, because when I saw it like literally 26 minutes after it was posted, and we were just talking about her.
Yeah, it was
because I saw her follower count, like
strangest coincidence.
Yeah, and I was like, "Yo, Nick, look at this shit." I was like, first of all, it's too late for us together at this point.
Yeah,
right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like,
hopefully, right? Like,
yeah,
I mean, you met her, you talked to her. So, I mean, at least you put a face to a name.
Right.
I'm just interested to see, is this going to be the person that comes out and starts hitting?
I mean,
what do you think?
She might be. I have no problem with that. Like, she's definitely someone that could. She's good at what she does. She makes good music. She's very young,
which is awesome.
Yeah, she's definitely about to. I think she's putting on.
Yeah, enough about that. But I just wanted to see kind of where that came
shout
from.
Out to her, props to her.
Absolutely,
that's probably one of the most notable person out right now in Harrisburg. In
terms of just our area,
we've had our runs. You know, we've had like Plain James was gonna sign to Cash Money, but he turned that down. And then you know you got Lau out here making crazy noise.
With that point being made, like the signing thing, that's super important. We talk about that a lot on the shows too. So and we talked about OVO right at the beginning. We talked about how good of a business.
The same question.
How good of a business model he has. So would you want to be locked into a deal, or would you want to stay freelance and branch out? I know I kind of framed that question a little wrong. Maybe it sounds.
I know exactly.
You know what I mean, but
I think that I've seen certain articles talking about Chance, the rapper in particular, because he pretty much shed that light on being indie, and they were trying to kind of I don't want to say like falsify his story, but they were trying to scrutinize him and say that he wasn't really independent because of his Apple Music deal. And I mean, this was within the last 2 years, like that whole thing came about.
That was a major check, though.
Yeah,
I would have taken that. I would have taken that.
Wow.
Good for him for holding out.
It was like that.
Good for him for holding out.
Yeah, but I don't necessarily think that a streaming company is I don't think that's like a lock. He knows too much to sign a deal.
Yeah.
Like
I think streaming companies are now just if you can get connected and get a check, take it.
Right, for
instantly.
Sure. As long as everything's cool.
Yeah, as long as
and as long as you have a lawyer present, you make sure before you ever get a paper, make sure you got a lawyer, somebody look at that shit.
I think honestly, like someone comes up to you and says, you know, label.
Yeah.
Right.
What do you say?
Presents it to you. I mean, it's money, but I also know a lot of people that would be like, I want to do this for myself, and I don't want any of that. That's become, I guess, somewhat of a subtle flex, I'd say, and subliminal flex maybe. That's kind of like fuck a label, like I can do this for myself, but can you really do it by yourself? You know what I mean? There's some people that I can be like, oh hell yeah, dude, you got it. You can do this by yourself. Give yourself 2 or 3 more years. Take that time. Cool, you have it.
Not everyone's Skrillex. You know what I mean? Not everyone's Skrillex. Like he produces, he puts it out, everything. Or Russ, and even Russ is a bad example.
That's a name I have not heard in a while.
I know.
I don't really
that's why I thought.
Russ.
That's why
I don't. You know,
I was talking about Skrillex, but
Skrillex. I don't fuck with Russ though.
Russ is still talented.
He's talented.
Russ is talented, and he takes probably like 80% of his music.
Like we were saying before, with the branding piece and how you are, he's just a.
He's a lower form of Tekashi, I feel.
No, I just think he's become a meme. I think he just says some weird shit. Did you see that video about him talking about like mentally fucking the shit out of a girl or something like that? Did you see that?
He's
so
a weirdo.
Weird.
He's a weirdo.
No, so weird.
But you know what? You know what's crazy? We're talking about him, so he must be doing something right.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Can I really say anything?
Because he really did that shit without a fucking label.
But I feel like he said a lot of that stuff to stay relevant, and that's why I said Tekashi thing. That's why I say with the Tekashi thing.
Saying shit. Like, it just depends though, because there are people who really.
Does that get under your skin?
What?
Does that get under your skin? Because you seem like a very like truthful guy that's like, I want to make music because I love this, and then you got all this other guys that'll.
I still got my fun and games side. Like I still, but at the same time, it's like if somebody can really just say some fuck shit, and they can stay relevant for like 6 months to a year. You know what I mean? Not making.
They're getting a check. They're getting a check.
That shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you're right.
Yeah, it definitely irks me. Yeah. As an artist, as an honest person.
You thinking of? I would, if I were in your position. This is just what I would say, right? I say if you can do it, you have I feel like you have a lot in your back pocket that I don't think you've been able to kind of channel into one thing yet. And when you find that, I think that you can take this and run with it without having to have a label because of the way that you carry yourself, the way that you've already branded yourself, the way that you stay with the times when it comes to branding yourself. Because I was looking through your Instagram, I was looking through some of the photos that were on the SoundCloud and things like that, that for me were like, he knows how to stay with the wave and how to kind of
aesthetic.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so I think it would be something that I say, look, I put the family on your back and say, let's go, get a manager, you know what I mean? An idea, you know what I'm saying?
Is that what I actually do? I do have a manager.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah, his name's Mike Mason.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys probably don't know who NRL is, but he was in a group back then. He has plaques. He's huge. Like, he was huge back then.
Yeah.
He was global.
Yeah.
He's written songs. His team's written songs for what was the show again? What show? It wasn't Power. It was the other show. Empire. Yeah, Empire. Yeah.
Oh shit!
His teams, and they're like Grammy nominated producers. And
so
all that type of stuff.
you've got a fucking team right now.
I mean,
do you or like?
It's
would you say it's a foot in the door, or is it more?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
It's definitely a foot in the door.
Work in progress.
Yeah, he's the contracts are still coming together because he does have his own label. Yeah, it's independent. He knows the industry. He knows everything that needs to be known about being indie.
One thing I didn't get around to looking at. Do you have do you have like any of like your recent videos out? Are you making video content pretty frequently, or is it just as you can?
I mean, it's kind of just fly by night type shit. Like, as I can make it happen.
Okay.
We were supposed to actually shoot a couple music videos over the summer, but he's just a super busy guy. Yeah. And the good thing about it is that it's all family. Like, it's my family's, and then his family. Like, we're close. And he has like anybody that works for him is family. Period. That's nice. And I think that's great. Like, that's what I want to do.
Keep that.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely it would be really hard to let go of that, because people have asked me, do you want to like get another manager? Because I've expressed my frustrations about situations like that, and because it hasn't been very easy to get
in contact.
Yeah.
Are you his only person he's managing?
Me and my younger brother are the only people that he's
decided to just like take on.
And he showed me his inboxes are full of people talking to him like, yo, check out my music, blah blah blah. He kind of just tells him to keep grinding. He's not into it. Yeah. But that's what's crazy about it though is I was at his house for my friend's birthday party last year. I've known him for a year now, a little over a year actually. It was September, August, somewhere in there. And he was like, he heard through his daughter, which was the friend of one of my best friends, that me and my brother make music. So he kind of we were there for a couple minutes. He kind of just barged in the door. And he was like, so who in here makes music? Like, who's rapping, who's singing, da 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 da. He thought that my little brother was the rapper and that I was the singer. And he's like, all right, I'm gonna need you to rap something, I'm gonna need you to sing something right now. Just because he was interested.
Did you tell him that it was?
Yeah, we had to tell him.
Okay, all right, cool.
And then he was like,
if you would have stayed with that, I feel like that would have been an interesting story to tell.
It would have definitely been interesting.
Yeah, but then his friend, who's actually his next door neighbor, is a DJ. So he talked to my younger brother while Mike pulled me aside and went to his office. And from the second he just asked me to play him the music, because I didn't really I wanted to give him an actual, piece of what I'm working on, not like just spit out loud. And so I showed him, I think I showed him HOF. That was the first song I showed him. It's on my SoundCloud. Yeah. And just from the second that he heard that, he was just like, he didn't stop, he didn't pause it, he didn't do nothing. He was sitting there listening to everything, and just only things he said were that it was just great. Like, he didn't want to stop listening to it, and then I'm different, and this, that, and the third thing.
You are different.
Yeah.
Remember that.
For sure.
You are something that I don't. There's a few that we see every season, every year that we start looking for people, and you're set apart.
Yeah, you're not on here because you're the plain Jane.
No,
for sure.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, definitely.
I take pride in that, for sure.
But
being able to delineate yourself is so important. Being able to be a little bit, and I think that's why people get tattoos of Anne Frank on their face. Right. That makes sense. Completely makes sense, I guess. Yeah. I mean, not my way of doing it. I would just do it through great music.
For me, I think the reason why I embraced it was because in the beginning, I just had to work my way up in my city. Like, it was dog eat dog, but it was like, shut the fuck up to me, because nobody knew who I was. I was like because I was cyber schooled in middle school, so when I came to high school, even my own friends.
So there's a social aspect. Yep.
Even my own friends didn't even treat me like they knew me. It was just like, it was hard. That's a whole nother story. But it was difficult.
No, but I believe it.
Yeah. From then on, when I really started taking the music seriously, I had to work. It wasn't until I was like 19 that people really started paying attention. Like, I was doing this shit at 15, 16. Yeah, and I was like, I could not even get just the local directors and artists and anybody to really pay attention. And that's nothing against them. It's just like, if we could have started working together sooner, like
you would have been where you,
not just me, but us as a collective. Like, and that's for that speaks for the city too. Now it's like, if we would all work together, we would really be somewhere.
We see that in this game. We see that in this game, and age is a little bit of a problem for shows.
Everyone young now turns into a narcissist because we have all this social media where it's just like,
but in fairness, I love Mad Ox. He's great. He's great. I love him, but you know,
his streaming numbers were crazy.
Crazy. The man's making a check. He's like 12.
No, I walk into like Zoomies and places like that. I don't hear shit. I don't hear nothing from him. But then I look at his streaming numbers. I'm like,
it's
yo.
Yeah, it's because he's a meme though. You know what I mean?
Like,
but,
I feel you.
Yeah.
Like do you remember the fucking hot Cheetos and the fidget spinners? That's what it was. Yeah. Little like 8-year-old kid just throwing bands off a truck in the hood of Philly.
I just think it's crazy that he's still putting.
He's still relevant. Yeah.
Like,
still
that's
relevant.
the most numbers he's ever put up. That's what I'm saying. So it's like,
I think the project with X is the reason for most of the perpetuation. He had that awesome project with X, and I really think if that wasn't around, he probably wouldn't still be. I mean, he still would have his fans, but it wouldn't be the same. He's still from Philly. Can't forget that.
Well, man, it seems like you're developing a team. It seems like you are kind of going this. I think we might have caught you at the right time, because maybe this is going to be the next jump for you in the next into 2019. I think.
True.
Project, is it coming? Do we have any new shit coming that you want to talk about?
Tentative dates. Shows.
I can't really give dates. There aren't really any shows coming up. Recently, the only shows that I know coming up are just other artists that I'm cool with. Shout out to Lonius, my boy. He's a vet. He's way older than me. No offense to him, but he's a vet in the city.
Big homie.
He articulates himself well. He's just a very in-depth, conscious soul. He's a pure soul, very much. And respect to him. He got a show coming up on the 29th, but as far as that's his birthday show, he got it's
like
gonna be a big event.
Yeah, it'll be like a whole thing. Yeah, absolutely.
But as for me, shows, I'm kind of working on that, seeing where we can go. But right now, it's kind of just about the music. Yeah. And I'm sitting on a single that, like I've mentioned on certain posts, I don't think people are expecting from me.
Is this the one you were telling us about where you need to go grab that
the beat? The beat. $2,000. Yeah, we got the license for it.
Okay. Yeah, it's just a matter of finishing.
Yeah. Okay. I still need like the mix down, and then it needs to be final, mastered and all that. But once that drops, I feel like I'm gonna be able to, just promote the fuck out of that, because it's like, I mean, I got a lot of music on the way. Yeah. Like, I don't mean to boast, but like I write constantly, so it's like I got like 700 songs.
It's crazy how there's certain people that'll.
Sure, he just says 700.
Yeah,
he didn't say 70. He said 700.
No, I'm not
700. For you guys who are watching.
It doesn't surprise me.
No, it definitely
because
doesn't.
when you
definitely does not.
I don't know what it is about. I guess I consider you a lyricist. You know,
I appreciate that.
When when you do that all the time, I believe it. You got. Sure. I bet you. I don't even.
You don't even need to pull out your phone.
Just filled with just shit. I don't even.
I think that the sad part about it, though, I don't really want to get too deep, but I think the sad part about it is that I've kind of worsened my anxiety because my mind is constantly racing with thoughts, feelings, and they all intertwine. It's bad.
Yeah,
it's bad.
It's constant.
Sure. Yeah, it's just constant. Like I always got something to worry about, something to focus on. I mean, that's cliche, but I'm saying like my mind is hyperspeed. Like,
no, I get that.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And I'm sure you're trying to work as hard as you can to get as far as you can.
Yeah, of course. For sure.
I know.
Yeah, I get that. This is my first time actually saying I get that more than you think.
Yeah,
and
that's a fact.
It's one of those things, man, where and that's why I think we ask the perfectionist question sometimes, because sometimes that anxiety can come from consistently working so hard, where it's like, I need this to be good. And I think what you said about the people in your city not really recognizing who you were, that drive of always wanting to make sure that you're staying relevant, I think that all comes into
play. Me, that's huge.
Yeah. So are we thinking tape? Are we thinking single before the tape? Or
I think I'm gonna go single and then album. Actually, I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not really
all platform type.
For sure.
Word.
For sure. I don't know if it's gonna be my brother and I's album first, or if it's gonna be my own original debut. It was either album or EP, and I kind of had a post about that, and I was like, what do you guys think? You know, just from your perspective, what do you think I should do? And
what do you think is more relevant today?
I think EPs, they're solid. They give you a taste of an artist.
Definitely. And
you definitely have more. There are really no boundaries, because you're just letting people know what you're capable of sounding like.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to have a specific sound. It's whatever you want people to hear you as.
True.
But an album, to me, it's like the pinnacle of an artist's, project. So
would you put one out if you aren't ready?
Definitely not.
God.
I would never.
I respect the hell out of that.
I would never do that.
That's important.
No matter how many people demanded it, no matter what what was going on.
You're gonna sit on that till it's ready for you.
Art is art.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yep,
and I think that if people truly support you, they're gonna wait. They're gonna respect it. They're gonna receive it the same way. Like, cool, you guys can joke with me and be like, "Oh man, you should put that shit out." That's cool. I don't care.
Yeah, that's fine.
That don't bother me.
If anything, you should take that as a compliment.
Right.
It's what makes you happy.
You're waiting on me. You know what I mean? Like,
word. Well, dude, we're hitting our hour mark here, so I want to just thank you so much for making the trek,
of course,
and just coming on and just same shit,
spitting
same
shit.
Fucking knowledge.
Honestly, the knowledge we've had some fuck shit on the show before. We've had people who have spoken fuck shit.
Very recent.
Oh
fuck shit,
we've had people try to cancel on us, and we made a whole video about it. It was mad petty.
People won't show up.
Who would cancel on a show for themselves? Right?
Does that make sense?
I know.
It's one of those face tat.
It's like
one of those face tat 16, 17-year-olds, man. You got to watch out for them. I'm telling you.
Was it the face tat?
What
was it?
I don't think he has face tats.
It's the neck and the there's a face tat.
Oh
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
No shade, but
I mean, we definitely threw some.
Yeah, no, we did. We told him straight up.
We
told him straight up.
So, I feel that.
You canceled yourself.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Well, like I said, man, dude, thank you for coming on. When that tape drops, you know how it is. Just let me know.
Of course.
And we'll talk here about what you want to put in after that. But all of your links I'll throw in at the bottom. Thank you for coming out. Shout out Harrisburg for real.
Yeah,
big
shout out
facts.
the fucking city.
Yeah,
anybody you want to shout out before we roll out?
Shout some people.
Absolutely, bro.
I mean, shout out my family first and foremost. Cody, who's here with me now. Chase, my little brother, Chase Dreams. Shout out my bro Dev. He got his album coming out, Black Blood. He already got an album out on Apple Music. Shout out Malik M. Wade. He got his album, The Sex EP, is on Apple Music. That joint's in depth. Man, I can shout out so many people. Shout out Loud, bro. He just put out probably debatably the best song and best video from Harrisburg probably in years that I've seen. And No Hope.
See that,
yeah, you definitely got to check that out. Shout out Rudy. Shout out Mel's a Million. That's my brother still. Man, there's so many people.
Sounds like we're just going to have a big enough audience. So just a shout out. So every city got 1,000 views and just have shout outs.
I just got so much love from my city, man. Like,
that's a good
I love
thing.
to support everybody who's trying to do this music shit.
Word.
Yeah, I could really go down the list, but
awesome. I mean, I feel it.
Everybody who's
the
supporting
entire city, just understand that I'm supporting y'all. I fuck with y'all. Period. Like,
even if your name isn't mentioned.
I love y'all.
Absolutely.
Period.
Word. Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this has been season 3, episode 4. Thanks for stopping in, Nick. As always, DC. Thanks for coming on, bro.
For sure.
And guys, we will see you next week. Have a great holiday.